Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Stephanie Mo Davis back with another video. Today I want to discuss this concept or collective egregore that's coming forth of developing the self, further self-awareness, consciousness, all of this coming to a greater understanding of who we are for a collective better tomorrow. I have to admit, I have been on this personal development journey for over 20 years. And some of the reasons I've gotten on this journey were out of choice, conscious choice, and some of them weren't. So being diagnosed at a very young age with a life-threatening illness forced me to look at some aspects of myself that I wasn't really prepared to look at. So for instance, at 19 years old, 20 years old, you're usually not processing to an extent your own death, or the fact that you don't have the strength to walk, or that you can't work or go to college because you're on dialysis. And so I was forced at a young age to start to process things that the majority of people at that age are not processing. So partially my self-development, self-awareness process begun then, and then I furthered that and continued that process by studying reading spiritual texts, practicing yoga, meditation, mindfulness, developing conscious awareness, going into this rabbit hole of really unearthing my true self. And for me, this process of becoming truly authentic felt very important along my journey. Returning to a state of, I want to say, more innocence, especially when I was trying to battle my disease process, because for those of you who haven't experienced a near-death experience or have come close to your own death, there's a sense of wanting resolve with certain things within your life because you may not have it in the next moment. So there's this essence that comes over you where you want to resolve some things. And I did this process. I felt like it was very important to forgive particular people. That was huge. I felt as though it was important for me to forgive myself and make peace with things within my own psyche. I went on this naturally occurring process because I was close to death. Now, for those of us who don't experience that, we often can choose to go on to a process of self-development and greater self-understanding and self-awareness, or we don't. And sometimes we get caught in this ideology that we're a victim of our circumstances because we aren't really fully looking clearly at why are our circumstances happening, why are we consciously choosing or ordering certain circumstances within our life. There can tend to be, if there isn't a true looking at the self, an aspect of potential victim mentality is, well, why did this happen? And why do I keep dating the same kind of person? And now my mother and I are arguing about this again. It's almost as though we are unaware and things are unfolding and we're dealing with life more so as the repercussions hit us, especially the ones that we don't like, rather than being more aware as we enter in and choose certain things within our life. This is the process towards self-awareness. Now, one thing I want to say, this is the kind of the crux of this video that I want to make today is, and something that has come up for me and my work a lot over the last 2 weeks, is there comes a point within your self-awareness process where, and it happens sooner than later, things get really difficult. You start to realize, looking at the self and really truly exploring the mirror of your reality and the reflections through others and experiences that you're witnessing, how much you are a part and a contributing participant in all of those areas. And this process of the reclamation of your sovereignty, it is alarming because up to these points, we were in that reflective personality state where, again, we are out of control with what we have surrounding us. It's more of a feeling of Again, I'm troubleshooting. I'm putting out fires surfacely because I'm not actually showing up with greater self-awareness. Okay? So this aspect of really truly doing what we call the shadow work and coming through this shadow aspect requires you can't come out of the shadows until you're honest with yourself, until you're radically honest about some things within your past that have occurred, radically honest about some of the ways in which you hide within yourself for particular reasons, usually based out of some sort of fear, reaction or response that might happen. And again, this really unearths another layer that is complicated to deal with because you see just how entangled you are within your own mind of continuing to perpetuate the ways in which we lie to ourselves to remain safe. I know because I did this, okay? It's tangly. You can't be on a self-awareness journey or a journey to a higher sense of awareness or consciousness or whatever, wherever you're going, 5D, whatever. You can't bypass the truth. You have to realize the ways in which your past has affected you and the ways in which you hide within your past, whether virtuously, righteously, or in aspects of playing out taboo or hiding in your life, projecting this outwardly, but then secretly, I've got all these taboos and weird hidden secrets on the side or things in my mind, but it's okay because they only exist within my mind and I'm not harming anyone. The process to spiritual awakening recognizes that what goes on within your mind is of utmost importance because that does affect reality. So whether or not you are trying to hold something within your psyche that's shadowy or that's something you don't feel ready to be honest about with, or you're just shoving it in, spirituality or entering this interconnection or union between yourself and others, right, requires this space between yourself and others, which is this hidden field, the field of awareness, to be unearthed. So this is the block within the field and the block to greater unification and healing the shadow elements of polarity. Polarity is really good in certain aspects, but we're living out shadow polarity, which is very difficult. And we don't see it because we're in the shadow. So you have to let the elements of the invisible come forth because that's what's blocking this field of greater understanding and connection between self and other. So for instance, again, if there's things that you are overdoing within your external reality, it could be because you're still trying to make peace with it within. So the energetic balance requires you to overdo it externally in the world or talk about it. I'm guilty of the same thing. This is all my experiential journey, so I'm not separated from anything that I'm saying. I'm saying this because this is what I've done, and if it relates to you or resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, also great. So yeah, nature is always trying to seek balance in some way, whether between the poles or unifying, or, very often it's like the infinity. It's like sometimes we're meant to be really close and sometimes we're meant to be further away. And bringing conscious awareness to the ways in which this moves is helpful. But right now we live amongst, an aggregate of a population who doesn't really understand the deeper aspects or nature of how and why we do the things the way that we do. And it can, again, it has two sides. It can be done with righteousness and it can be done really shadowy. But what I want to say, the point is, a very crucial step along the journey to greater self-awareness is once we get past the alarm of, oh my goodness, I did not realize, like I thought this was going to be a lot of, this was going to help me improve my life, and this is actually hurting me. This is part of the process. Of course, you have to unearth these things, and it's always bigger than we think. But also, we always surprise ourselves with how we get through it and what culminates from getting through the process. So it's always worth it. But you can't, once this comes up, once this awareness shows, you can't keep it in your mind. You have to find a way to be honest with yourself. And you have to really realize that this is, you have to come to terms with the ways in which you've hidden in your shadows to make the outer world, to make things more comfortable for people outside of you, or to try to project an aspect of yourself that you want to be seen outside of you. We all need to get radically more honest. I think that a lot of the complications and the narratives and agendas playing out today are because we've hidden so much of the taboos within ourselves, and now they're literally expressing through the field. And that's why there's so much confusion and distortion, and we don't have clarity. We do not have clarity because the field is full of toxic waste that we've hidden inside as taboo, or we're trying to portray ourselves in a certain way or afraid, and it's playing out anyway. So again, to go back to the self and say, what are the ways in which my past is hindering me from being more full with my expression, more honest, more true? What am I afraid of if I speak my truth? What really am I afraid of? And recognizing that in you holding it in, you're not helping anybody actually. You think that, let me just keep this within myself. You're not only harming yourself, and that those energetic distortions are going to play out in reality whether you like it or not, whether it turns into something like a physical complication or illness, or it will come out at some point. But those you think you're protecting by holding your truth within is expressing in the field of what we experience in this reality. It is expressing. It's expressing, right? So if we want things to improve, we have to go back into that self-awareness process, truly. And the ones who may be expressing in radical ways maybe are just a compensation of the ways that you're hiding it within yourself to be virtuous externally. So just wanted to say that it's a beautiful but difficult process at times. Do it anyway. Always do it. And really face the ways in which you are afraid to hurt people. You're afraid. You want to be the good person. You want to be the good girl, the good guy. You want to portray yourself as, whatever it may be. We got to get over that. We've got to get over that. I was at a really beautiful, not like a gala, but this introduction at this for this nonprofit that was just amazing the other day. And the nonprofit is to help girls between the ages, I think it's of 8 and 18, to have strong female figures around them who are integrated, not empowered in the shadow, integrated. And the room was filled with wealthy elites at this art gallery. And I wasn't judging because I could see that the majority of them had deep interest in the cause. But the woman who started the nonprofit said something so bravely and so boldly, and I could have stood up and cheered for her because this is exactly how I feel, and this is what we need to do. She told her story of how she was pregnant at a very young age out of wedlock, and that her family, her culture was ashamed of her, and they were trying to tell her what she had to do to live the rest of her life. And she said, I didn't want to do that. I was holding my family's shame, my culture's, the shame of the cultural reality of me getting pregnant at 17. And she said, but I knew I had something within me. And she said, I had a calling. I didn't know what it was. And she said she packed a Hello Kitty bag and left the country, her family, to discover who she really was. And she said, this is the line, she said, everybody in this room, whether you've come from poverty or you consider yourself within the elite, we all have taboos. We all have shame, and we all have hidden truth, and it needs to come to the surface. So that's it. That's all I wanted to share today, guys. Love you.